So most people really don't have a problem with ethics, because if it sounds like somebody is being cheated, they probably are being cheated. But there's some definitions that I need to make sure that you know. You need to make sure you know the difference between actual fraud. It was done on purpose. You knew it was fraud. You saw them over there making up those check stubs. You even helped them figure out the calculations. Actual fraud or constructive fraud. You had no idea that they did this. You just went by what they said. You also have to know the difference between fraud for property, and who commits that? Homeowners or potential homeowners. Fraud for property and fraud for profit. Who does that? Now let's talk about fraud for property first. Fraud for property. Lying on their application, making up check stubs, making up tax returns, using straw buyers. Why are these people committing this fraud? Because they want the property. They're not trying to get money. They want the house. So who commits fraud for property? Potential homeowners, borrowers, consumers. Fraud for profit, that's about money. Write down the term industry insiders. They're going to ask you who commits fraud for profit? Industry insiders, people inside the industry for money, charging you to verify your employment, charging you to not look up this on the title, different things like that. That will be fraud for profit. It's committed by industry insiders. An appraiser charging you to give you a good value, or the tax person, CPA, charging you for a profit and loss statement. Why are they doing that? They want money. They want money. Industry insiders commits fraud for profit. Now here are a few terms, mortgage schemes that you need to know. Heir loan. What is an heir loan? There's not even a property. They made up the address. It used to happen a lot. You would get a person that would make up an address and get it to their appraisal friend and says, hey, put this address on one of your old appraisals and send it to me. If we get this deal done, we'll give you a cut. Then they get to their inside person at the mortgage company. Hey, see if you can walk this through. If we get this done, we'll give you a cut. And sometimes they will get a loan on a property and commission on a property that doesn't even exist. That's called an heir loan. So whenever you see the term non-existent loan or no collateral, of course they couldn't do it anymore because they check and recheck. But for the test, you need to know what is the definition of an heir loan. Non-existent property. They made it all up. You also need to know deed scam. What is that? When they scam someone out of their deed. Happens a lot in loan mods. Sign your property over to us and we're going to help you fix your credit, get you straight, and then we'll give you back your property. And they'd find some reason not to give the people back their property. They scammed them out of their deed. Double sold loans. Double sold loans used to happen a lot. You'd have these mortgage bankers that would set up LLCs, Nevada Corporation, this corporation. And what they would do is they would have a property and they would sell it to two different lenders on the secondary market. Because it used to be a time where in order for something to show up on your credit or public record, it took 30, 45 days. And what they would do is they would sell it to two different lenders on the secondary market. One didn't know it was already purchased by the other. They got paid the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 and they just dissolved the LLC and go do it again. Double sold loans. Unrecorded silent second. What makes that unethical? If you have a lien against someone or someone has a lien against you, it is supposed to be recorded at the county recorder's office. You're not supposed to wait till the last minute. I lost the deal last week because at the last minute, someone had an unrecorded thing and they found out the property was being sold and they went and they recorded it really fast. You know, if there is a lien on the property, it's unethical, not illegal, but unethical to hold on to it. They're supposed to have that recorded at the county recorder's office, and it's supposed to be public record that there are liens on this property. Unrecorded or silent seconds. Equity skimming, making rescue loans to people when you know the borrower can't pay. This happened a lot in Stated, and a lot of people got in homes and couldn't even make the first payment. The loan originator, because the borrower had a good credit score, stated their income. But he doesn't have a job. Oh, I don't have to prove that he have a job because he had a 750 credit score. And all the lender wants is the credit report. But you know he doesn't have a job. Oh, he promises me if they get the loan, their cousins, their family, their friends, they're going to come up with the money. But you know he doesn't have a job. That's unethical, making loans to people when you know they don't have the ability to repay. Can't do that anymore, but that was called equity skimming. Loan flipping, refinancing them over and over again when there's no net tangible benefit. Costing $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in closing costs, but all you saved them was $50, $60. That's what that one is. Straw buyer, using someone else's name to buy the property, but the lender thinks that they're the one that's staying there. For example, if I get my loan in my sister's name, because she has better credit than I do, and every month when I make the payment, I make it under her name, she would be a straw buyer. Can't do that. Okay. 3 other ones that you need to know: bait and switch, an alluring but insincere offer to sell a product or service. It sounds good. I'm going to tell you whatever I need to tell you to get you in the door. I'm going to make all kind of promises just to get this appointment and get you here. But once I get you here, I'm going to say, okay, so let me tell you what I really want to show you. But what about all that stuff we just talked about? All you did was lure them in on something that you really didn't want to talk about. Switch after sell, you took a deposit. You took a deposit and then you switched it. If you take any deposit, or our company takes any deposit, for example, say that there's a 70-inch TV for sale, and you call, say, Best Buy or whatever, and you say, I hear that you have a 70-inch TV for sale. I'd like to know more about it. Yeah, but we only have 3 left. If you give me a deposit, I'll hold it for you. But then I give them a deposit, and I drive all the way down there, and they say, well, we don't have the one we talked about, but let me show you this. Then why did you take my deposit? That's called switch after sell, because they took money. Now, bona fide offer, you have to make sure if it's a service or a product that you're offering, that you can actually provide it. They do that a lot with Black Friday sales. The first 100 people, we're going to give you this Xbox for $40. But they only got 30 Xboxes, and they got all these people sleeping there. It's not a bona fide offer. How are you going to give it to the first 100 people if you only have 30? That would make it not a bona fide offer. Do you get that? Safe Act. You need to know, this is the part of the test why you don't have to take a